Hello guys, what's going on? My name is Rex and this is part 3 of my Let's Play of Shadow of the Colossus. Or I guess it's more like a walkthrough than a Let's Play, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But let's just take a quick look at Mono. Our sweet princess. Oh yeah. Anyways, let's just go on. Because this one is a little longer than the last one, so let's just not waste any time. Our horse always has a trouble going downstairs. Doesn't want to speed up, but that's fine. Now we're gonna check, see where we have to go. Through the same place we were before, so let's go. I guess I'm gonna take the time to talk a little bit about the background of the game that I haven't still done. So apparently our guy Warden stole this sword, which is kind of a, well, they call it the ancient sword, so it's a special sword somehow, but apparently the sword has the power to repel evil, I guess, kind of like the Master Sword in Zelda, but it has kind of other uses. Like it seems to be mainly used to defeat the Colossus. Like it's made to defeat this Colossus, so this Colossus were probably created with the help of the sword, so that's probably why. But the thing is, he needed the sword to revive Mono, which was sacrificed because she had a cursed fate. They don't really say much about Mono and why she was sacrificed, but this guy wants to save her and he needed the sword, so he stole it. And now we are entering Sacred Lands, Forbidden Lands, to revive this Mono girl. So we have to go over here. You're gonna find, let me just take some time to explain this. I don't know if you saw it, but let's look around. There are lizards, like little, there you go, these little lizards. You can kill them, and I guess you can take their tail. Let's go ahead and do that. There you go. There are special lizards in the world that if you take their tail, then your stamina actually becomes bigger. But that only happens with special lizards, not every lizard. And there are fruits that you can also gather throughout the world, and those increase your health. I'll make a video for that, showing you where you can get it. But another cinematic, which shows us the next Colossus. As with the past Colossus, they seem to give us some sort of hint into how to actually fight the or how to get to the Colossus. So the cinematic showed us to, or pointed us towards this little, I guess, stair, we can call it, circular road or whatever. So let's go there. You can actually, let's see here, you can dive, which I guess kind of make it faster. There's no real use for this, at least not for now. There will be a boss where you will actually use it for later on, but I guess just for kicks now. It does consume stamina, which works as your, I guess, breath meter, so just keep an eye on that. Now let's just check on our light. Oh, we don't have any light here, but it's pretty obvious that they want us to go up here because of the cinematic and just how obvious the road is. This jump is a little tricky. You can actually, when you jump in this game, you can move your character mid-air, which does help you quite a bit. As you can see here, I can direct my jump, so that's, it's not hard, but it's still a little bit tricky. Now this is the tricky part. Those jumps actually, if you're not very experienced with the whole platforming of this game, then it can be a little tricky. But yeah, You see the golem right there? I almost fall there. And I present to you guys the third Colossus. This is personally one of my favorite ones. It's the one that I remember the most. Let's call him out. Now this one is a little bit tricky and harder to figure out how to beat than the first two. The first two, well, the first one was really obvious. I mean, it's more straightforward. The second one, you had to find out that you had to shoot him on the leg, which can be hard. Not too hard though if you use your sword to point the light towards his legs. But this one, your sword will not actually help you find what to do. It's more of like you kind of either have to know it, or you have to get lucky. But he's gonna try to hit you. There you go. With his big arm. Now what we have to do is get up into his arm and then walk through it to get to his hand. The thing is, you see that he has a bracelet in his arm. That bracelet will prevent us from actually climbing up his arm. So what we have to do is break his bracelet. And how we do that is by making him hit that little metal circle in the ground. When he hits that, his bracelet gets broken off. So now we can actually, you see that it's broken, we can actually climb on top of his hand now. So now all we have to do is wait until he hits again. There you go, and we go up. So let's go ahead and do that. This part can be a little tricky because he will juggle you quite a bit, and it's really easy to fall down actually. So you have to keep an eye on that. Now the first place that you should always go, as I said in my second video, is up to his head. It's usually the easiest weak point to find and the most obvious one to most Colossus. So let's just go up there first. This one will juggle you quite a bit, so I mean, don't even bother not grabbing onto, unless you want to get stamina right now. You see that it's really easy to fall down if you're not careful. But now that I have it full, I will go up here and... Oops. Oh jeez. I almost fall there. It's can be a little tricky using the keyboard to play the game. Yeah. I mean, if you don't grab here, then you're a goner. And going back up is a pain in the ass, as you might imagine. So yeah, I'll regain some... try to regain some stamina. This one is pretty tough to get it done in one swoop, because your stamina is not as strong unless you have been gathering those lizard tails. Will juggle you for quite a bit. But like most of them, they're gonna spew some black blood, if you can call it blood. I always like to think it's oil or something. But yeah, it's gonna take 3 to 4 hits, like most weak spots. But you might want to, after the second hit, you might want to take a rest. Or fall. I guess that kind of works too. I'll see you guys up there. Alright, sorry about that. Falling is never a fun thing, but it's part of the game. So one does have to get used to that. Sometimes you will fall. But, as I was saying, just 2 more hits on this guy, and we're done for this week. Now obviously the longer that you hold your sword into the air before striking him, the stronger the hit is going to be. You could decide to just start smacking him for small hits, but it's not worth it. It's much better to simply take a big hit like that. Now I'm getting really... Oh wow! Yeah, I'm getting really low on stamina, so it would be imperative to, yes, to try to regain it here. Now that weak point is destroyed. He's gonna try to juggle you quite a bit here. But that weak point is destroyed, so now we have to find another one. So what you have to do now is go down. Might be a little tricky. There you go. Want to go back to his arm. Just try to follow the hairs on the hand, because you cannot climb through the skin. But it's pretty simple. It's not that big of a deal. You can always just drop down like this. Now what we have to do, as you should grab you, it's gonna dangerous. You have to jump here. Oh, that was really close. I almost didn't grab there. You go to his hip here, and be careful. Try to walk by grabbing, just to be careful. I mean, you don't really need the stamina as much anymore, so you might as well not fall. And it's here, right on his stomach. So this part, once you get here, is much simpler. You could decide to do this first, rather than the head, but then climbing from here to the hand to go up, it's a little harder than just simply going from the top to this place. So I always use this method best. But as you can see, if you run out of stamina, which you probably will, because it does juggle you quite a bit once you get at this stage, you pose no real danger, as if you fall, you'll just fall down to the ledge, so that's not too bad. But getting into the position is quite a hassle, honestly. Oh gee. Yeah, I'll just get here to get a little bit more stamina. Try not to grab to the top, because you won't be able to hit him then. Now hopefully we can hit him now. There you go. So around 3 more hits. And that should clear up this guy. This guy is one of my favorite Colossus, just because... Well, I mean, honestly, I'm not really sure. There's just something about this guy. I can't quite grasp it, but there really is something about this guy that just... I don't know, it's that Colossus that always caught my attention and I always remembered. Every time I thought about this game, I always thought about this Colossus for some reason. I guess it was kind of epic, just the way that he hits you with the arm. How you have to evade it and all. It's always left a mark in me. So there you go, just one small hit. You don't even need to charge it for this little. So just, oh gee, doesn't let me. So just hit it. And that's it. The third Colossus is down. I don't know if you noticed, but there's just something epic about the death of this Colossus. That it does have a lot to do with just how I remember it. Just the way that he dies in the music, it's just, I don't know, so reminiscent. So that's kind of cool. One thing you can also try is just jump out the ledge into the water as soon as you beat him, to try to evade the black thing, and it ends up hitting you on the bill underwater, but I don't know, it's just something fun to always do. I couldn't do it because I just got knocked down. But now we get teleported back to the temple, and we have 3 shadowy figures, which seems to be representing every boss that we've killed. And the 3rd idol is down. So good riddance. Now let's see where the fourth guy is. Thy next foe is in the land of the vast green fields, rows of guiding graves. It is giant indeed, but fearful it is not. So we have to go through a field. I guess that's a nice tip. But with that, our part 3 of Shadow of the Colossus is done. And you see some little birds there, it's pretty cool. You can try to spook them with your bow and arrow, they'll just fly out. But that's gonna be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys next time. Tune in for part 4.